Hi everyone, my name is RAWAN Ali and this is my final project for the semester of 2024. For our project we were given the choice to either celebrate a less known designer or celebrate the new within our modern era, and I chose to celebrate a less known designer, and I did that because I wanted to represent a female designer, just because within the era of like the 1800s and the 1900s, we don't really have much documented about female designers. And I really wanted to search and see a designer that I really liked her work and admired it very much and felt like it represented what I would like to see in certain areas. And because of that, my designer that I chose is Dorothy Draper. So let's get into it. So Dorothy Draper was born to an Elliott family in 1889. Her family lived well off in the United States, which gave her exposure to the arts and culture at a very young age. She lived in New York until she got married to George Draper at the age of 23, where she moved to DC, where he practiced medicine. I do believe that her husband was one of the personal doctors of the U.S. President, FDR, and she was also cousins with the president's wife, the first lady at the time. So they raised their children together and they grew up very close, I guess. Draper started by designing and developing her own unique style, where she practiced it first within her own house interiors, creating electric interiors using vibrant and open colors. At the bliss age of 34, she established her design company called Dorothy Draper and Company, leading her to be the first to professionalize the interior design field and to be one of the very few to lead in the industry alongside men. So this photo is a photo of the lobby of the Hotel Carlyle, I believe that's how it's pronounced, in Madison Avenue, 6th 7th Street in New York City, which was designed by Dorothy Draper at the time. Dorothy Draper enjoyed decorating everything, from hotel lobbies to homes and even cars and private spaces. And this passion had led her to landing her perhaps most famous design, the Greenbrier Hotel. The Greenbrier Hotel in West Virginia was first used as a military hospital during World War II, and after the war, Dorothy Draper was tasked with redecorating the entire space. What stood out most was not only she redesigned the space, but she even designed the staff uniforms and the matchbooks. For her unique style, Dorothy Draper was paid the highest fee for a designer at the time. She was the head designer of the hotel until the 1960s, where she passed it down to her portier. I do believe that Dorothy Draper had sold her company in the 1960s, and the company has taken over her designs for the Greenbrier Hotel. I know that further after her designs and creations, they had designed the casino, which also follows her design, and they had designed, I think, escape and safe rooms during the Cold War. So some of her other important commissions include the Camilla House restaurant at the Drake Hotel in Chicago, which is the first photo in the top left corner, and then the Arrowhead Springs Resort and Spa in California, which is the second one, and the Carlyle Hotel in New York, which is the bottom left corner, and then the Hampshire House in New York City, which is the bottom right corner. So her confidence in her ability and work gave her the opportunity to step out of the historical design, which was something that every other designer was aiming for at the time. And I believe that's why her work stood out most within her time in the 1930s up until the 1960s. This had led her to inventing her own style of bold colors and expressive material. She's known to have invented the modern Baroque style, which looked beyond the rules and used fresh colors and style. She named it that way after admitting that if it feels right, it looks right. Her designs were colorful, creative, as she always used dramatic color schemes with contrasting colors. It was very hard for me to find color photos of her design during the time, but you can see even in the black and white photos the contrast, the dramatic contrast within her color schemes. You can see the luxurious style, designs, and materials she's using within her designs. Dorothy Draper had a lot of commissions during her time, and she had always wanted to like step out, I guess, of the norms and expectations of like the historical design and what everybody else expected. We can really see that very much in the in her design within the lobby of these hotels and spaces, and also of the green the Greenbrier Hotel, where she did once admitted that it was the jewel in her crown because of how much she really liked her representation within the design. And we can see that being carried into her present day, because as I mentioned, Dorothy Draper had sold her company in the 1960s, and it remains fully and closely connected to its origins up until the present day. Her style, legacy, and achievements continues and will continue in the future. So we can see in these photos, these are commissions from present day designs from Dorothy Draper and Company. We can see the use of the bold colors and the vibrant color schemes. We can see the contrast within the colors, and we can see the luxurious style of like the reference of modern Baroque, which was Dorothy Draper's style. Thank you.